You are listening to The Rant with David King.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Rant. I am your host, David King. It's good to be with you. Thank you for listening to the show. As always, tell a friend, share, and like this podcast. Subscribe to the podcast for free and tell a friend. You may have noticed lately, over the last couple of years, that whenever you get into a debate with somebody, you try to have an adult conversation, whenever you make a point or you may be getting a leg up in this conversation, it always goes the direction of somebody name calling you, right? They always go right for a label. Especially when you're debating somebody on the left. It's always, oh, you're Hitler, right? If you support Donald Trump, if you're against abortion, if you're against this or that, oh, he's Hitler. It's always something that is absolutely ridiculous, right? It's the absolute worst thing you could possibly be. It's never, hey, you're Churchill, I don't know, right? Like, it's never something mildly bad, you know? It's always an extreme. You're Hitler, like, as if there's nothing worse than, they could call you Stalin, I suppose. I guess there is something worse than Hitler, and that is Stalin or Mao. They could be like, you're Mao, but that doesn't really resonate with anybody. And the reason why they don't call you Mao or Stalin is because people on the left like Stalin and Mao. They prescribe to whatever it is he is offering. So to call you him as an insult would be like punching themselves right in the face because it goes against what they believe in. And it happens all too often today. You can't have an honest conversation anywhere. You can't even have a conversation on Facebook. Everybody knows that social media is a volatile, awful place to even have any kind of conversation, but yet we get suckered into it and we do it. I'm guilty of it every day. But the latest thing that I've been called, other than Hitler, I've been called Hitler, which is hilarious. I just think it's funny when people have called me Hitler. I'm sorry. I've been called Hitler. I've been called a racist. I've been called a xenophobe. I've been called everything you can possibly think of. But the latest and the greatest thing in the entire world, this is the greatest one. This is the one that takes the cake. Somebody says, they said, you know what you are? You're a Putin puppet. You're a puppet for Putin. You're a mouthpiece for Putin. That's what you are. That's what they say. I'm a mouthpiece for Putin. And I just have to laugh because it's just like, why don't you just say you've lost the argument? You have nothing further to add to this discussion. You are incapable of being an adult. You're incapable of critical thinking. You're incapable of seeing the other side, the other person, and where they're coming from, and trying to understand, well, why is it that you think this way? Are you just insane, or is there a reason why you believe what you believe? Now, I understand why you believe the things that you believe, especially people on the left. I understand exactly where you're coming from. I get it. You mean well. You come from a place of compassion. The problem is you have too much compassion to the point where it's made you this bleeding heart liberal, and it has blinded you from the facts of life and the way the world works. You would much rather sympathize and agree with people like Stalin and Mao and socialists than you would at looking at the facts of what, say, Western capitalism has done for the world. I don't know, something to think about. You're not capable of a conversation. So what do? You shut down and you name call. You think of the worst possible thing somebody could be, and you call them that, and you profess it loud so everybody can hear. You're a Putin puppet. Why? Why am I a Putin puppet? Because I'm not interested in defending Ukraine, and I won't. I'll say it here loud and proud. I don't care about Ukraine. I didn't care about it 4 years ago, and I don't now. I'm not interested. I've never been interested. They are a corrupt oligarchy. They haven't held an election. Zelensky has a 4% approval rating. His people are tired. They're over it. They're done. They're starting to see that this whole thing was a sham and it got a lot of people killed. But that's not the reason why I'm not interested per se, even though that is certainly part of it. I'm not interested because it doesn't benefit the United States to get involved in this matter. Well, how dare you say that, David? How dare you? You're just going to let Putin invade sovereign nations? He can just do whatever he wants? Yeah, it's his country. He can do whatever he wants. Hey, guys, newsflash. We do the same thing. We do the same thing. Somalia, Iraq, Afghanistan, just to name a few. The United States has no problem putting putting troops on the ground in these countries and essentially taking them over. You know what the difference is? When Putin takes over Ukraine, it will become part of Russia. They will be taken care of as much as Russia takes care of anything. And it'll be what it'll be. It'll be under Russians' rule. You know what we do? We go into places like Iraq and Afghanistan and we blow the shit out of it. We blow it to hell and back, kill everything that moves, and then we leave. All right, best of luck. I'm sorry, we killed your leader and everything, and yeah, we've kind of rebuilt your roads and bridges and shit, but we're out of here now. Bye. You guys will figure it out, right? And then all these Middle Easterners are stuck there like, what the hell just happened? We spent an entire over a decade in Afghanistan, and what do we have to show for it? Not a damn thing. Al-Qaeda still runs it, and they have all of our shit now. That's what we do. We get involved with other people's affairs, and we fuck it all up. That's what America does. Now, I love my country. I am a patriot. I love the troops. I was a troop, but I love our military. I love what the founding fathers stood for and what they believed in and what they drafted and what they created and built for us. I believed in it. I believed it deep into my bones. It's in my DNA. Deep into my bones. I would die for this country. I swore an oath to this country. And I mean it. From the absolute bottom of my heart, I mean it. But I am tired of the bureaucracy. I am tired of this war machine where it feels like we're not really actually interested in helping the Ukrainian people. We're really more or less interested in federal grade money laundering. Because even Zelensky himself has said, I don't even know where half the crap went. I don't know where all the money went. I don't know where all the bombs and everything, like it's all, yeah, we got a lot of it, but I don't know where everything else is at. Oh, hey, by the way, can you give me more? Holy shit, man. Are you kidding me? You don't know where all of it went? You have no accountability for the money we gave you, the resources we gave you? By the way, did you know that when we send them supplies for the so-called war front, those supplies don't even make it to the war front? They arrive on planes, big cargo planes, trucks line up, and you know who takes it? All the different factions, the gangs inside of Ukraine. They take these materials and they put them in a warehouse. And the only way you see it is if you're a part of the team. Are you pro Zelensky? Then you'll get stuff, or you may not. It is not a democracy over there. It is no better than Russia. Okay? It's just oligarchs, people with money and power that are all pretending to rule, pretending to live under the shadow or some false flag democracy. That's not what is going on over there. And the only thing this conflict has done is, one, it's ruined any kind of civil relationship we could possibly have with Russia. How dare you think we can have a relationship with a man that would invade a sovereign nation? We do it too, guys. We do it with our military. We do it with our CIA. We do it with our Federal Reserve. We do it we force our will on everybody in the world. And maybe we should. We're the world's superpower. Maybe that's exactly the way we should operate. I don't know. I personally don't think it's a good idea. I definitely don't think it's a good idea to get involved militarily with a country like Ukraine that absolutely brings nothing to the table for us. There's absolutely no benefit for us to get involved with Ukraine. And yet, for some reason, our politicians have pushed for the longest time to get Ukraine to be a part of NATO. And Putin has said, that will not happen. I will not let that happen. I will invade Ukraine. I will take back that region before they ever join NATO. And guess what? He did. I don't understand why we love to toe this line and flirt with this disaster. We have no idea what we're doing. And it's played out. The last 4 years, they thought, oh, well, we're going to back Ukraine. We're going to fly Ukrainian flags in Congress, and we're going to stand by Ukraine. And all you morons are going to put your Ukrainian flag on your profile photo. And you're going to say, I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I put my flag as my profile photo. I'm doing my part. Look at me. Virtue signaling. I'm so good at it. But you're a Putin puppet because you didn't do that. You sided with Putin because you didn't put a Ukraine flag in your profile photo. You're Hitler. You're Putin. You're pro-Russia. No, I'm pro staying the fuck out of it. That's what I am. I'm pro minding my own damn business. I'm pro, how about we build up our reserves and our military? So that way, if Russia ever did get really frosty, like everyone thinks they're going to do, we'll be ready for it. Because guess what? If Russia really wanted to get real crazy, because they've already teamed up with China, because NATO and the United States has funneled all of these resources to Ukraine, it has further pushed Russia away from us and into the arms of China, which is the absolute worst thing you could ever want to happen. What we should have been doing is trying to find common ground with Russia. Whether that's just working together via trade, having an understanding. Hey, look, you don't really like me. I don't really like you. I don't trust you. You don't trust me. But you know what? I've got stuff you want. We've got some stuff I want. We can do some business. Right? And everything will remain cool as a cucumber. But no, we have to treat Ukraine as if it's like this prodigal son. And oh my God, I cannot believe that Putin would invade Ukraine. I cannot believe that Russia would take back former Soviet Union countries or regions, former regions of the Soviet Union. Why would they ever take that back? I don't know. It's crazy to think. Why would they do that? The idea that if we don't defend Ukraine, Putin will take it and then he'll go for Poland next. There's absolutely, positively no evidence whatsoever to suggest that Putin would ever invade Poland. Why would Putin? First of all, I don't like Putin. The guy's a creep, but he's smart. He's a really smart guy. You watched him interview on Tucker, you'll realize just how sharp and smart he is. He's not going to invade a NATO country. He's not stupid. He's not suicidal. Yes, he is a dictator, but he is not a suicidal dictator. He's not an idiot. He doesn't want to poke the bear in that way, if you get my drift. He'll dance around the cave, but he ain't going in there to poke the bear. And that's basically what that would have been. And he knows better than that. And there's no evidence to show that he would ever have done that. None whatsoever. At all. Well, we just can't let these guys do whatever the hell they want. Why? Why is it our responsibility to police everybody in the world? We have a $2 trillion deficit. We are $36 trillion in debt. The average debt now per person in the United States is over $300,000. That means you're carrying $300,000 worth of debt because of what our country has done, because of their spending habits, because of their negligence. And you want to now get involved with a borderline third world country who has a dictator for a leader because Russia invaded them? Okay, who cares? Let them hash it out. Let them figure it out. Oh, but what about Europe? What about the stability of Europe? This could be a real problem for Europe. How? Nobody's given me an example of how this is problematic for anybody except for Ukraine. Well, do you think it's okay for just some country to invade another? No, I don't. But it is not our job to police it. It is not our job to dump all of our money into that conflict. Because guess what, guys? There has been conflicts like this for the last 100 years in that area. There has been constant conflict in Europe, in Asia, the Middle East, everywhere. There is always somebody who wants to buck up and take something from someone else. It happens all the time. When this is over with, there will always be another Russia-Ukraine situation. And it is not our job to get involved unless it directly affects us in a negative way, and not a single person, no politician, news anchor, talking head, friend on Facebook. Nobody has been able to give me a reason as to why we need to risk World War III, put ourselves further in debt, deplete our military supplies, which is what we've done. We've depleted our military supplies, helping Zelensky in Ukraine. Nobody's giving me a good reason. I can think of a lot of really good reasons not to help them. I named a few. $2 trillion in debt, $35 trillion deficit. Or excuse me, $2 trillion deficit, $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any more money. We're broke. We're hemorrhaging money right now. And it's so bad, the corruption in our own country is so bad that they've elected a guy and a team of computer programmers to find all the fraud, and people are mad about that. We have our own war to fight here on our own soil. Yeah, we're not fighting with bombs and guns, but we're fighting the war here. We are fighting against a deeply embedded machine. And this Ukraine war is just a distraction, and you're falling for it. Go ahead and put your flag as your profile photo. Do your part. All the people are getting blown to hell in fucking Ukraine are really appreciating your flag on your profile. Good job. Congratulations. You solved the world's problems. Really proud of you. And then you're going to sit here and patronize me because I'm going, what the fuck are we even involved in this? You're a Putin puppet. $2 trillion deficit. $35 trillion in debt. Our military supplies depleted. Not good. We have pushed Russia further into the bed with China. You know what kind of superpower that is? You guys go, well, Russia's weak. They can't even take Ukraine. Look at this. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, if Putin really wanted to take Ukraine, he'd take it. But now that you've moved him into further relations with China, that is a massive superpower that the United States could not take on by itself. China by itself, Russia by itself, that'd be tough. That would be a hard war to fight, but we could do it. Them together, that's going to be tough. That's a very dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous fire to play with. So thus now we have moved ourselves closer to World War III. The nuclear clock has moved closer to midnight. There has been no good from any of this, guys. They're saying it's over 1 million people have died in this conflict. Over 1 million people have died in this conflict. Instead of Joe Biden saying, whoa, 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 let me get on the phone with Putin. Let's talk about this. What do you want? Why are you doing this? Is there a concession? Let's come together. No, it's, you know what? Let's just give Zelensky whatever he wants, as much money as he wants, as much military as he wants. Let's give him fighter jets. Let's give him helicopters. Let's give him our tanks. And we're supposed to just believe that Putin's going to be like, yeah, all right, whatever. It's cool. I don't care that you're giving him stuff. No, that's not how it works. Russia's going to go like, okay, fine. You guys want to play that game? I'm going to go hang out with China. They got a navy that's about the size of yours, right? They got more military personnel than you do, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. They do. And they're also a pretty big contributor to your economy. This is insanity. And there's no reason for it. I am not a Putin puppet. Not at all. I never will be. I just don't care about him. We need to think about our country first. And guys like Dan Crenshaw, who just completely let me down. I used to be a huge fan of Dan Crenshaw. Love your service, brother. Appreciate your sacrifice and everything you did. But you are a horrible politician. You have really let me down. You should be ashamed of yourself of what you've done while you've been a politician. You have let down conservatives and patriots all throughout the United States by putting Ukraine over us first. We can walk and chew bubble gum. That's what he says. No, we can't. We can do both. We can take care of Ukraine and take care of ourselves. Oh, that's fantastic. Except we don't. If I better not drive over a single bridge that looks like it's crumbling. I better not have a pothole in any road. Period. Our infrastructure should be absolutely perfect. Our military completely up to date. We were using aircraft that had airframes from Vietnam. No joke. The plate was right there. It showed you when it was made and everything. Vietnam era aircraft that had just been updated over time. We were canning parts off of derelict aircraft in museums just to fly our aircraft when I was in. We cannot walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. There is so much that must be done in this country. There are so many things that must be fixed, that need to be addressed. Now we're starting to do that. And I'm really happy. We got Doge. We got some new people in the FBI, Attorney General. We'll see if they end up holding up, doing what they say they're going to do. That's a whole nother rant. But no, we cannot walk and chew bubblegum. And for those reasons, I cannot support our involvement with the Ukraine war. You're on your own, Zelensky. And judging by how the thing went down in the Oval Office the other day, yeah, you're screwed, buddy. You're on your own. Enjoy it. And you keep pushing buttons that don't work anymore, my friend. It's over with. Because Trump's not going to play that shit. That boy's playing 4D chess. You're over here playing checkers. Thank you, everybody, for listening to The Rant. I'm your host, David King, and I will catch you on the next one. Oh, by the way, if you don't agree with me, I don't care, but feel free to reach out to me on social media. Or maybe you do agree with me. Well, if that's the case, shoot me an email anyway. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
This is such a crock of shit.